Hello. Welcome to Advanced Vedic Mathematics course. Today in this lesson 126a, we will be continuing with our workshop. In this session, we will proceed ahead in continuity of our first session of workshop in the previous lesson or previous session. In this session, we shall be specifically focusing upon first 4 Maheshwara Sutras and their 9 Pratyaharas. There are 4 sutras, there are 9 Pratyaharas, and there are 9 vowels. The first vowel is A, E, U, Ri, Lari, E, O, A, Au. These are the 9 vowels. First 3 vowels are coordinated as Sutra 1 and its Anubandha is Ana. Second sutra is coordinating 4th and 5th letters and its Anubandha is Ka. Third sutra is coordinates other 2 vowels and its Anubandha is Nga. And the last 4th vowels coordination sutra is having Anubandha Cha. See, these 3 vowels are having together this value is 6, here is 9, here is 13, and here is 17. The Anubandha, this is having this value 7, here is 5, here is 5, and here is 2. In this context, we have to have a glimpse first of the first Pratyahara contributed by the first sutra is Ana. Sutra is A, E, U, and Ana. Pratyahara is starting here and ending here and taking that these are also covered. So it is the abbreviated form for the Sutra 1 itself. However, here the focus will remain upon A, E, and U, triple vowels being taken up simultaneously. Then the second sutra will lead us to the Pratyaharas Ak, Ik, and Uk. See, the first sutra begins with the letter A, and the second sutra has closure at Ka, and in between are the E, U, Ri, and Lari. So this coverage starting from A to Ka is a coverage for 5 letters, and E to Ka is coverage for 4 letters, and U to Ka will be coverage for 3 letters. So these 3 Pratyaharas are respectively of 5 letters coverage, 4 letters coverage, and 3 letters coverage. Here also there is a 3 letters coverage, but these are the first 3 vowels, and These are the vowels starting with U, Ri, and Lari. This distinction between the first Pratyahara and the fourth Pratyahara. Likewise, the next third sutra will lead to only one Pratyahara now, that is A and Au. Only two letters, two vowels are being covered. Then there are fourth sutra is leading to four Pratyaharas, and these are Ach, Ich, H, and Och. So in this background, we have to have proper comprehension as to the way the Maheshwara Sutras are organizing the vowels. So vowels 1 to 9 are organized as sutras, Maheshwara Sutras 1 to 4, and these 4 sutras give to 9 pratyaharas. Here we may have a pause and we can take note that 4 space parallel to number 4 is leading us to 9 versions. So hypercube 4 is having 9 versions, and there are 9 geometries of 4 space. These 9 geometries of 4 space is a very big format. So the hypercube 4 is a 4 space domain enveloped within a boundary of 8 solid components. So solid boundary of 8 components, a raised to power 4 is to 8 b raised to power 3. So when all the 8 boundary components are stripped off or removed, or when the 4 space domain is free of its entire solid boundary, then it would be a state when there will be only 0 number of boundary components. And so like that, we can have 0, 1, 2, so and so, 7, 8. These would be the 9 versions. These 9 versions of hypercube 4 are the representative regular bodies of 9 geometries of 0 to -4 and +4. So these are the signatures. By signatures means the presence, marking, when all the 8 components are there, when 4 are there, 7 are there, 6 are there, 0 is there. Now let us see how these signatures organization is there. Let us start with a hypercube 4 as 4 space domain with 5 space as its origin, and it's all the 8 boundary components stand removed. That means there is no boundary component, so we call it a 0 boundary component, so it's a 0 signature. This is 0 signature state. Then we can see that in all there are 8 boundary components. Solid boundary is of 8 components. So 4 and 4, there can be this division of this setup of a spatial order. So we can say that there are 4 on this side and 4 are on this side. We can take that it is just like an opposite orientation. Say a positive and it is a negative. This also will take us to that surface to space is having a pair of faces. These pair of faces of when split, then the space in between is accommodating solid Q. That means it is the force space of one orientation and here is a force space of another orientation. And in between is a 3 space which as an order will create a 5 space. Therefore, 5 space as an origin splits 4 space domain into a pair of 4 space domains but of opposite orientations. It is this feature which takes on one side of the middle as negative orientation, other side as positive orientation. So this takes us to -1 to -4, here we call +1 to +4. It is this split, it is this organization which is constituting or manifesting a format for the 9 pratyaharas. These 9 pratyaharas, 9 vowels, and the 9 steps of reach for a 4 space. All these features, as these are, deserve to be comprehended well if we want to reach at the sthapatya of sutras and pratyaharas. Let us now start with the sutras first. Sutra 1 is A, E, U and Ana. Transcendental values 1, 2, 3 and 7. Total value is 13. This takes us to hypercube of 13 edges. The 13th edge of the cube is acquired along the 4th dimension of 4 space. This 4th dimension of 4 space, so it is the sthapatya of the Sutra 1, sthapatya of Sutra 1, and same also as Ana, means starting with first and reaching up till 7. What this feature is that cube, which is a hypercube 3, is of a raised to power 3 is to 6 b raised by 2. So there are 7 versions, -3 to +3. There are 7 geometries of 3 space. These 7 geometries of 3 space, G37, and 9 geometries of 4 space are having synthetic common format, and it is this format which gives rise to synthesis of G37 and G49. So it is a 4 space which has 9 versions. In this, when we are having a transcendental content flow, means which is of 11 versions. So the procedure will be that we will be reaching at first step from 9 to 20 as +11 and -2. Then we will be at -13 and 31. It is this feature which is to be recognized for synthesis of the pair of dimensional spaces which otherwise are playing their role in the form of a domain within a boundary. It is working with the pair of spaces simultaneously. That is, when we are handling the domain content, domain space content with the boundary space content, then the advantage will be that we will be dispensing with pi. So it is this feature of dispensing with pi for pi r square area and 2 pi r as a ratio will dispensing with pi. The Vedic knowledge systems of format of Maheshwara Sutras, which is the base of Vedangas, of Vyakaran, Shiksha and Vyakaran. So it is the Shiksha with which we begin, and Shiksha is of TC value 13. It makes a 13-edged cube. It helps us reach at the Sthapatya. It is this way that we have to sequentially reach. We have to sequentially approach the Vedic knowledge systems. So Vedic knowledge systems are the systems which firstly initiate with Devanagari Varanamala, and this Devanagari Varanamala is of compactified folds. First are the letters, then are numbers, then is the Sthapatya. Sthapatya itself is a space content and is a full unit and a half unit bodies. These are the 5 folds of Devanagari Varanamala which are to be availed. And at the next step, from Shiksha onwards, the Diksha is to be, now it is going to be a Diksha. Diksha is 19, Shiksha is a 13. So for Diksha, we have to start with Maheshwara Sutras. The Maheshwara Sutras are 14 in number. These Maheshwara Sutras are 14 in numbers. It is this feature of Maheshwara Sutras which is taking us to 14 sutras, and 42 are going to be the Pratyaharas. For it, that initially for Devanagari, we have to begin with a 4 space. But for Maheshwara Sutras, we have to reach the way 4 space is manifested in its spatial dimension, and it will be leading to a 8-directional frame with values 16 here, 30 here, 34 here. So see, the gap value is 14, and then here is 42. And so this gap value, and then having a reach towards it. So it is this type of a format. It is this type of a format where this plane is being carried by this line. So it is this line and it is this plane. So it is the reach for 40, and here is for 42. And 14 means taking to a raised to power 7 is to 14 b raised to power 6. So it will taking us to 14 Manvantars. We will be entering the 7th space. We will be entering Dhruv, a pole star. It is Punarjanam, means rebirth for Devanagari. So Devanagari as Maheshwara Sutras will ultimately are to be learnt by having